Is 12 o'clock. Here's the media news. First, the top stories. Court sentences man to die by hanging for murder in Abeokuta, Ogun State. 9-month amnesty for tax defaulters to pay or face trial. Ohaneze Ndigbo wants Nnamdi Kanu to stop heating up the polity. National Economic Council asks states to build prisons. In foreign, tougher entry into US for 6 countries as Trump travel ban comes into effect, and German parliament okays gay marriage. Good afternoon, I am Aghemerio Oaikhenan, bringing you the news in detail shortly. And now the news in detail. An Abeokuta High Court in the Ogun State capital has sentenced a man to die by hanging for murder. The accused, Rashid Karim, was convicted for killing Hamid Muhyiddin during a carnival under the Toko flyover bridge in Abeokuta on December 19, 2015. The Ogun State Chief Judge, Justice Olatokunbo Olopade, who gave the verdict, says the prosecution proved the case against the accused beyond reasonable doubt. After hearing the judgment, the accused broke down in tears, pleading that the judge should temper justice with mercy. He also pleaded with prisons officials who took him away from the courtroom to let him see his child before he was transported in a vehicle to the prison. His request was not granted. Rock City FM correspondent Bode Malaolu, who covered the proceeding, filed in this report.
It is the sixth to be given by courts in the State High Court complex in Abeokuta since February this year. Apart from Thursday's verdict, which is for murder, the other 5 were armed robbery. The tragic event leading to the sentence of the accused, Rashid Karim, started unfolding on December 19, 2015, under the flyover bridge at Itoku in Abeokuta, when Ahmed Muhyiddin, who was coming from a prayer program, ran into a carnival organized by youths in the area. The accused, according to the prosecution, gave the late Midday fist blow, which led to a fight between them. During the fighting, the accused person broke an empty bottle on the head of the deceased and stabbed him in his stomach, which caused his intestine to gush out. Late Midday was rushed to the Federal Medical Center, Idiaba, Abeokuta, where he died on December 22, 2015. Defense counsel Mr. Oludotun Shotonade told the court that the proof of death of the accused and his circumstances by the prosecution are at best speculative. The lawyer argues that the accused should not be held liable for such a speculative evidence and urges the court to discharge and acquit the accused person. This is reporting for Rock City FM.
The Rivers State Election Petitions Tribunal has sacked Senator George Sekibo of PDP from the Senate. The tribunal declared Andrew Uchendu of APC as the winner of the rerun senatorial poll in the state. It ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to issue a fresh certificate of return to the APC candidate for scoring the highest number of lawful votes in the poll. Uchendu had approached the tribunal to challenge the election of Sekibo on the ground that INEC ignored the results of votes cast in some of the wards and polling units in the senatorial district. Last week, the Supreme Court also sacked 2 senators. The presidency has declared a 9-month amnesty for tax defaulters with effect from July 1. From July 1 to December 31, the Federal Ministry of Finance will offer a waiver to tax defaulters on the payment of interest, penalty, prosecution on tax offences and tax audit. Finance Minister Mrs. Kemi Adeosun, who issued the tax amnesty at the launch of Voluntary Asset and Income Declaration Scheme in Abuja, says the waiver is a strong signal that the party is over for tax defaulters in the country. Adeosun says the waiver after 9 months within which tax defaulters are to pay their tax arrears will not be repeated. Meanwhile, every Thursday has been declared Tax Thursday to create awareness among Nigerians on the benefit in the payment of tax. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo, who announced this while launching the Voluntary Asset and Income Declaration Scheme in Abuja, says the program, which will last 1 year, seeks to bring more than 4 million people nationwide into the tax net. Osinbajo explained that all the 240 Nigerians paying 20 million naira tax yearly are in Lagos State. Tax evasion, according to the acting president, is not limited to wealthy Nigerians but individuals and companies. Igbo Apex Social Cultural Organization Ohaneze Ndigbo has warned the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB) and its leader Nnamdi Kanu to stop heating up the polity. The organization's President General Chief John Nwodo, addressing members of the Anambra State House of Assembly in Awka, expressed concern over calls by KANU that the November governorship poll in the state should be boycotted. Nwodo described the call as shocking, disturbing and provocative, adding that it violates the oath that KANU took before him after his release from prison detention. As far as the Southeast is concerned, it is still part of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and it is bound by its law, no matter how unjust, says the Ohanaeze president. 28 Nigerians have been deported from the UK, thereby swelling the population of Nigerian immigrants returning to the country. The 28 deportees, including 21 males and 7 females, were brought in a chartered plane from the UK into Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos on Thursday. The latest deportation is coming 2 days after 23 other Nigerians were deported from Spain. 3 days earlier, 6 European countries, including Germany, Iceland, Austria, Switzerland, Hungary, and Belgium, also did same. National Economic Council has asked state governments which have the financial capability to build new prisons or assist in rehabilitating the existing ones to help decongest the prisons. The council expresses concern over the condition of the structure and logistics of prisons in the country. Governor Dave Umahi, who announced these at the end of the meeting of the council at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, says they reached the agreement after listening to the presentation of the Interior Minister, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambazao. The meeting, according to the governor, also agreed that the governors should either sign the death warrant of condemned criminals on death row or commute them as they wish. House of Representatives is conversing for a subsidized foreign exchange rate for intending Muslim pilgrims to Hajj in Saudi Arabia and their Christian counterparts in Jerusalem. The House Chairman on Special Committee on Nigeria-Saudi Arabia on Hajj, Balarabe Salami, made this known in Sokoto at the Stewardship Forum organized for the lawmakers in the State House of Assembly and National Assembly. The lawmaker says the Hajj fee of 1.5 million naira based on the exchange rate of 360 naira to $1 is too high. Salame says the proposal will reduce the hardship facing prospective pilgrims and encourage more people to participate in the 2017 pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia and Jerusalem. You're still listening to the Midday News on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business and sport news. Please do stay with us. On the foreign scene, people from 6 mainly Muslim countries and all refugees now face tougher U.S. entry due to President Donald Trump's controversial travel ban. It means people without close family or business relationships in the U.S. could be denied visas and barred entry. Monday's Supreme Court ruling upheld the temporary ban, a key Trump policy, but the judges provided a major exception for those who have a credible claim of a bona fide relationship with someone in the U.S. The effect is that citizens of the affected countries with a close relative in the U.S., such as a spouse, parent, child, or sibling, will potentially be allowed in. In a last-minute change, the Trump administration extended the definition of close family to include fiancés. However, grandparents, aunts, uncles, nephews, and nieces are not considered to be bona fide relations. The rules apply to people from Iran, Libya, Syria, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, as well as to all refugees. A clear majority of German members of parliament have voted to legalize same-sex marriage days after Chancellor Angela Merkel dropped her opposition to a vote. The reform gives gay men and lesbians full marital rights and allows them to adopt children. At present, same-sex couples are limited to civil unions. Mrs. Merkel's political opponents were strongly in favor, but Mrs. Merkel, who only gave members of parliament the go-ahead on Monday, voted against. Norbert Lammert, president of the parliament, said 393 lawmakers voted to approve the amendment, while 226 voted against and 4 abstained. During her 2013 election campaign, Angela Merkel argued against gay marriage on the grounds of children's welfare and admitted that she had a hard time with the issue. Now in business. The production of rice in Nigeria has risen to 5.8 million metric tons yearly as more Nigerians join in the production of the staple food. The production figure, according to the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, rose from 5.5 million metric tons in 2015 to 5.8 million metric tons this year. In 2015, the association says that Nigeria spent 1 billion naira daily on rice. The association president, Aghemerio, says the production is still below 7.9 million metric tons consumed by Nigerians yearly, leaving a shortfall of 2.1 million metric tons to be met from importation. Aghemerio explains that the association has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Nigeria Customs Service to stop further smuggling of rice into the country. Finally, sport news. Nigerian stars Ibrahim Shaibu and Oaikhenan were among those who scored goals as their Norwegian side FK Haugesund smashed Coleraine FC of Northern Ireland 7-0 in the Europa League first qualifying round first leg game on Thursday. Oaikhenan and Shaibu scored in the 49th and 52nd minutes respectively before Eric Husklepp and Johnny Per Budusson completed the route for a comprehensive 7-0 first leg win. The goals by Shaibu and Oaikhenan were the first ever in the Europa League, and the team will now fancy their chances of progressing to the next round. Leon Goretzka scored twice in the opening 8 minutes as Germany beat Mexico 4-1 in Sochi to join Chile in the Confederations Cup final. The Schalke midfielder swept home a Benjamin Henrichs pass from 20 yards and then slotted home from Timo Werner's through ball. Werner then tapped home Jonas Hector's pass to increase Germany's lead. Marco Fabian scored a brilliant 35-yard strike for Mexico before Armin Younes added a fourth for Germany. Fabian's turn came too late to threaten a comeback, although there was a chaotic ending with several chances at both ends. While Germany go on to Sunday's final in St. Petersburg, Mexico faced Portugal in a 3rd-4th play-off earlier that day. The media news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Court sentenced man to die by hanging for murder in Abeokuta, Ogun State. 9-month amnesty for tax defaulters to pay off his trial. Ohanaeze Ndigbo warned Nnamdi Kanu to stop heating up the polity. National Economic Council asks states to build prisons. In foreign, we reported that tougher entry into US for 6 countries as Trump travel ban came into effect. And also, German Parliament okayed gay marriage. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Aghemerio Oaikhenan. Good afternoon.